Have you ever wanted to turn solid objects into liquid? Liquefy by Tobias Dostal is a brand new release from Murphy's Magic that has been getting a ton of buzz lately. Not only can you make multiple rings turn into a pool of liquid, you can add a very visual magic moment to many of your other routines, including routines with cell phones, Sharpies, gummy bears, chocolate, ketchup, coins, and much more. Today, I'm doing an unbiased magic review of this product so you know everything you're getting with this and if this product's right for you. So stick around because today we're talking about Liquify by Tobias Dostal. Summer is in full swing and it can get so hot that even my rings start to melt. Ooh, that's so thick. It becomes liquid metal. But being a magician, I can get it to go back to how it was before. And now everything can be examined. That's Liquify. What you just saw in that performance is exactly what Liquify looks like in real life. It's very visual and quite disarming, especially because it comes at an unexpected moment. The audience doesn't expect you to make the ring turn into a liquid, so that's very good. Also, this looks like it's a messy effect, but the great thing is you end completely clean. There's no residue, sticky stuff, or anything like that. Also, one thing people have been mentioning is that this doesn't look convincing in real life. However, that's only because they're magicians and they know what to look for with this. If you do this on people who have no clue what to look for or what to expect, this is totally disarming and it looks very good and it's very fooling. At Magic Live, I had a ton of fun with this. I just performed it on a bunch of hotel employees and they were really shocked because they did not expect the ring to turn into a liquid, which is really good. But without further ado, let's talk about Liquefied. What do you get with Liquefied? With Liquefied, you get a lot of bang for your buck. When this first showed up at my door, I opened it up and I had no idea what the effect even was. The gimmick is very clever, and when you buy this, you get first of all, you get this very nice box with the Murphy's logo on it, and you get 5 different colored rings that you can perform Liquefy with, including a white ring, a brown ring, a black ring, a silver, and a gold ring. They all have very nice finishes and they are all ungimmicked, but they have really nice feels to them. And in addition to your rings, you get 8 different liquefied gimmicks. That's right, 8 different liquefied gimmicks. The colors you get are caramel, silver, red, gold, green, white, black, and brown. Finally, you get the tutorial. I don't even know if they needed to include all these rings, but it was so nice that they did because there are so many applications with different objects around the house or in impromptu situations. You could even do the melt. There are like 20 tricks taught in the tutorial with this, but it's easy to come up with your own routines too. You'll have ideas when you get this because it's just a really fun project. Also, you can do the melt inside the spectator's hands and they can feel the object changing shape. This makes a great opener or closer to any ring routine, key routine, or any other routine like a coin routine or cell phone routine. And one thing I wanted to note is that the rings are definitely probably going to be a bit big for your fingers, and that is by design. So you can do the change move from the liquid to the ring, and you can have the ring spin on your fingers, because if the ring was too big for your finger, it wouldn't really spin. So keep that in mind, because my friend is size 7 ring size, and it didn't fit him. It was slightly smaller than his ring finger. Let's talk about the quality of the gimmick. The rings, first of all, are really good quality. They have a nice finish, and keep in mind that if these rings are too big for your fingers, and you want to wear the rings all the time, as long as you find other rings that are similar enough color to the liquefied gimmicks, you can wear those and use those, or you can even borrow a ring. And the rings, I don't see any problems with. They should last you a long time. The liquefied gimmicks are also really good quality. All the liquefied gimmicks are really good, except one, the silver liquefied gimmick that I received. came slightly unbonded at a certain part. The rest, when I first got it, the rest of them, I don't foresee that issue ever happening with them because they are bonded super tightly. So maybe there was just a small manufacturing defect with my silver liquefied gimmick. Also, one thing I wanted to note with the liquefied gimmick is that they can, if your pockets are really dusty or linty, the liquefied gimmicks can pick up dust or lint in your pockets. And if it picks up too much lint, which is unlikely in most pockets, if it picks up too much lint, that can slightly ruin the illusion. But if you just dust off the liquefied gimmicks, the lint should all come off. But that's just something I wanted to mention that is possible if your pockets are really dusty or linty. And there are some slight discrepancies with the liquefied gimmicks, but the discrepancies are so small that I promise you, it's very unlikely that any spectator should see, which is nice. One of Liquify's strengths is that it can be done with borrowed objects in the right situation, such as a borrowed ring or cell phone. It's insanely strong to do it with someone's ring, because if you just take someone's ring and turn it into liquid, give it back to them, they will be looking at that ring all day and they won't find a single thing, which is so good. It's so strong when something changes forms or changes elements from solid to liquid. That's why effects with smoke are so strong. However, one thing with Liquify is don't overdo that move where you're showing that it's liquid, because if you do it too many times, like more than 5 or 6 times, it's possible that the audience can catch on. Now, how's the tutorial? The tutorial is the perfect length. It's a bit less than an hour and a half. It's not too difficult to go through it though. There are timestamps and the tutorial is easy to navigate. Tobias is in the Murphy's Magic Studio. He talks about what you get, the history, basic movements you need to learn, a basic routine, a quick visual melt, cream to ring, a melting bottle cap, liquid bouncing ball, liquid Sharpie, liquid phone using other objects, a liquid coin to chocolate, a Kinder routine, a Hershey's chocolate routine, melted ketchup, melted Milky Way, melted honey, melting green gummies, and some more. And how to do this in your spectator's hand, a melting signature, and more. It's a really fun tutorial. Tobias leaves no stone unturned. Is this a social media or a real life effect? This would work well for both social media performances or real life because of its visual nature. It's really visual, which is great for social media, and for real life, it's a great magic moment that you can add as a part of your longer routines or even do in your spectator's hand as a one-off bit. Either way, this is a really fun effect, and in my opinion, I think this could be done as a standalone piece or as a part of a larger routine. This is a really good illusion from Tobias. He's so creative. What are the angles like? There are some angle restrictions for this effect. You won't want people on your extreme sides or behind you. You have about 180 degrees in angles, which is definitely not bad for most close-up situations. Is this examinable? Yes. The ring at the beginning and the end of the routine it's examinable. However, when the ring is in its liquid state, it is not examinable. They can't check out the liquid ring. But that's fine because the ring is really liquid for such a short period of time that even if they ask you to examine the liquid, by then you can just turn it back into the ring and then give them the ring, which is fun because the ring is not gimmicked. However, while the ring is in the liquid state again, you won't want to hand that out. Otherwise, you will totally expose the method. But yeah, especially when they're examining the metal ring, that's where all the heat is. There's no heat on your hands, which allows you to do a move that you need to do. But they will want to check out that ring. Believe me, they will want to check out that ring and make sure that it really is what it appears to be. Now let's talk about the difficulty and practicality of Liquefy. This is not too difficult at all. There are some advanced routines you can do with this, as well as some intermediate routines you can do. I'd say this is between beginner and intermediate. If you're familiar with a certain type of manipulation magic, this will be even easier for you. It will come naturally to you. This is quite practical for close-up magic as well. This would really be good for a beginner to an advanced or even a hobbyist. It's really fun to play with this effect and to fidget with it. to get it more and more convincing over time. Is there any DIY required? No, no DIY is required. This is ready to go right out of the box. Also, all you need to carry is the ring, which you can have on your finger if your finger is big enough for it, and the Liquify gimmick, which is not too large, the matching Liquify gimmick. I would say the Liquify gimmick is smaller than your finger in pocket space required. So it really doesn't take up much pocket space, and it can be stored in a pocket with cards, coins, and other stuff, because it's easy to identify. If there's cards, coins, keys in your pocket, it's easy to identify which thing is the Liquify gimmick, which is a really good thing about this. This also resets instantly. So for table hopping, you can just do this over and over and over again from table to table. There's no reset at all. What is the price? Liquify by Tobias Dostal costs $75 US. Is it worth the price? $75 US may look like a lot of money when you're watching this trailer, especially if you consider this to be just a magic moment, a single magic moment. But this is very memorable, and you are getting 5 ungimmicked rings and 8 liquefied gimmicks with this. And it's definitely not easy to make these gimmicks. There was definitely a lot of research and development that went into the production of these gimmicks. But you are getting a lot of value here, especially with all the different applications you can use this for, and also all of the routines you can incorporate this into. But what are the pros and cons with Liquefy? The pros are this is visual, it's not very difficult, it is very disarming, it's practical, very little pocket space is required, it's a powerful, quick visual moment. It could possibly be done with a borrowed finger ring or a borrowed object. This is examinable at the end. You get many gimmicks and there is no mess. This resets instantly, and of course it's examinable at the end, which I mentioned, but the examinability, don't underestimate how powerful handing this out to be examined is, because when you hand this out to be examined, they're under the impression that this is some sort of trick ring that has the ability to turn from liquid to solid. But when they examine that ring and they realize that it is legit, it's a real ring, they will have almost like a secondary reaction. So they get a first reaction when it first turns into liquid metal, and you're gonna get a secondary reaction when they're examining the ring. Or actually, you can get 3 reactions if you do it in their hand. You get the first reaction where they start to feel the ring change in shape. You get the second when they see it change shape. You get the third when it changes back, and you get another moment when they're examining it. So yes, it might look like to you like this is one magic moment, but it really is multiple magic moments, all baked in to one really well-designed effect. The cons are this could be a little bit expensive. It could have been maybe a tad cheaper, like maybe 65, 70 bucks. Also, one of my gimmicks arrived slightly unbonded at a certain point. I've been playing around with this product for about a week. The gimmick that did come slightly unbonded did not get any more unbonded than it came in. It still works, the effect still works, but it's just something I wanted to mention. Also, if spectators look very closely, there are some small discrepancies that they could possibly notice, but that's only if the gimmick is maybe an inch or 2 away from their eyes and they're looking like a hawk, they're watching like a hawk. Only then could they possibly notice those small discrepancies. But if you're not inches away from their face, they're not going to notice any of those. Also, the gimmicks can collect a bit of lint or dust if they're stored for too long in linty or fuzzy pockets or spaces. But what percent do I give this? This gets a 97% from me. I like it a lot, and I think if you're looking for a really good magic moment or a really good disarming piece to add to your current ring or coin or key or phone routines, this is a really, really good option. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.